Alright, I can't remember where we were. I had to go and yeah, watch the Vikings game, eat lunch, stuff like that. So here we are. New end put on my connector right there, nice and tight. I'll probably wrap it with electrical tape here real quick as well too, and then should be good to go to reinstall the starter. So I just left that bolt right there because it connects with that I don't know, it's a part of flywheel clutch thing or whatever it is. So maybe I'll try and clean up a little bit too, then I'll be right back. I will add too that while you're in here, you can see how crappy my inside is from sitting in the summer and mice and bugs, and I guess I even saw squirrels in here at one time. But you know, since you have this out, now's a good time to clean all that out. And also on here is the steering post. You can see the main steering post right there has a zerk right there that you can zerk up, but these snowmobiles just suck. They're just horrible at turning and they're so hard to steer, or at least mine have been. So it's a good time now that I got the starter out and you got access to all that stuff in there to go ahead and grease all that up and lube that up and get that ready to go. Okay, I got it in place here now, so I'm going to go ahead and attach this one right here and this bad boy right there, and go ahead and attach all those screws. Boom, boom. There's 3 screws to attach, and then one back on the back part here. So I'll go ahead and do that, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so here's, this is my socket right there to do that part, and then here's the tricky part right here. So I have one of these Allen wrenches. It's kind of a curvy guy. So it slits in there like this unless you turn it from an angle. If you do not have one of these, you gotta go buy one. Otherwise, I don't know how you, I'm seeing a vice grip on that bad boy or what, but so this is how I tighten that thing down. See, if I try and stick this in there, no go. Ain't gonna work. But because I got this guy with that special end, it slides in and you can do it from an angle. So that's what it's all about. Getting that guy on there nice and tight. There we go. And the bottom one's tight. Now I'll go to the other side and get the other one. Hold on. Alright, for this last bolt there in the bottom, I don't know if you can see it or not. There it is. Yeah, so I had to use a wobble with the 6mm Allen head and just keep tightening. That's it. Okay, so then got that on now. So then what we're going to do is take this nut off right here and attach the positive wire to it. Okay, that's on now, so then just tighten this down and then we're almost done. Okay, I got some tape on that thing hooked up, all attached, and I greased up the steering post. And also a good idea to come back, get back up here, grease up these guys too. These things just steer like, I don't know, it's crap. Just crap. Okay, and then should be ready to go. So I'm gonna put the negative terminal back on and the air box. I put mine right there. Put the air box back in, and I'll be good as new. All right, so I got that negative terminal back on. Now I'm gonna take the air box and shove this back in. I need 2 hands to do it, but you get the idea. But the important thing for you guys to remember is this. Remember, go inside here. Don't bother putting on this back one over here. See, there's one on the other side right there. Don't even worry about it. It never comes out. Just shove these 2 holes, go inside the 2 carburetors, and then that bolt right there. That's all you need, because these things keep having to be re-cleaned and redone and yada yada yada, so you save yourself a lot of time. Alright, see, I got the carburetors back on, and then yeah, so this is the only bolt you need. So I'll tighten that bad boy down with the 10mm and we'll go from there. Okay, here it is. Starter's all on, hooked up, wires hooked up, everything back together. Now the moment of truth for this bad boy. So let me lower the hood. Oh man, there you go. Look at that bad boy. Probably the ugliest snowmobiles ever made, but that's okay. So I will go ahead and fire her up. Let's just make sure it turns over here. There. Perfect. So it didn't fire up, but I gotta prime it and get gas in it too. So I just want to make sure I got that starter on first. So there you go. That's how you replace the starter on a 95 Skidoo Grand Touring SE. I'm sure it applies to all the Skidoos that are as ugly as this one and shaped like this. So good luck to you guys. Bye bye. Okay, here you see I had to use a little wobble to get this loose, and it seemed to do the trick. So I broke it now. I'll go ahead and unscrew it and then I'll be right back. Okay, now we got that part out. Undid that. Now we can just slide this thing, start her back more. Yeah, there you go. Just keep unscrewing this guy until this comes out. And you don't have to remove the flywheel. Or not a flywheel, whatever. I don't know. You know what that thing's called. It's called something. There we go. Okay, so, oh, I gotta also remove these wires. I guess a smart person, the way you're supposed to do it, I'm sure, is to unplug the negative battery connector, but these things are just pieces of crap. The batteries are way under the air box, and I don't know what they are, so there's just too much work. I'm not gonna do that first. Remember, when the good Lord wants it's your time to go, it's your time to go, so I don't worry about that stuff. Alright, flip it around here. Yeah, right under there is the battery. One thing, oh, I'm super smart. One thing I did is I put my battery tender connector right here, so I can keep the battery fully charged. I bet I'm on, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years on a snowmobile battery, so that's pretty good. Alright, so back on this side, I will go ahead and yank this out a little bit, and then just got to unscrew these things, take out the wires. This thing and these are just kind of held on, and this is broken. Oh, yuck. Okay. Well, maybe that's my problem. Maybe that's why my starter didn't work. Either way, I'll just go ahead and replace it. So, be right back. Okay, so I had a sparker from my disconnected wire right there. It hit the frame and caused a spark. So I did pull the airbox off, which is just that screw right here. If you can't figure that out, you got bigger problems than I do. And there's also one in the back down here, but I took that out years ago and never put that back on. So if you haven't taken your airbox off lately, do not put that screw back on. You don't need it, and it just slows you down. So here's my battery. I'm gonna unscrew this, disconnect the negative, make sure I'm safe. I don't have that high of life insurance on me. I got 5 kids, a wife, and they like to spend money, so I gotta make sure they're provided for. So now I'm gonna unscrew this bad boy, and oh my goodness! Ooh, oh man, I am pretty strong. Okay, so I can do this. All right, I gotta pause it. I need 2 hands, but hold on. Yeah, I found an even easier thing. Cut the plastic off. There we go. I just need to unscrew that guy and disconnect the negative. There we go. Negative terminal disconnected. And yeah, make sure there's not touching. Boom, boom, boom. And now I'm good to go. I'm going to try and force this guy out. You gotta do a little bit of wiggy jiggies, and she'll come right on out. Okay, so now I'm going to remove, this one broke off. So I'll deal with that one next. I'm sure my starter actually works. It just, that cord came undone, but sacrificing myself for you guys. You guys know what to do. And then I'll undo this one with a screw, and then she'll pop right out, and then I'll do the swap-the-roonies. Oh, I have it recording the whole time. I'll let you win some of this work on the other side. Undo with a screwdriver, and because it's my luck, the screw fell down there. So I'm sure I'll have no problem finding it. Stuff works perfect for me every single time. Alright. Now we try and find a way to get this guy out of here. And so, oh, it's connected right there to something. Hold on, I need two hands again. Let me be right back. Okay, got her out. I was held on by a zip tie on some of those wires down there. So got it out. Old one, line them up. First try. There you go. Now I gotta remember what I'm doing. Okay, so it looks like... Alright, gotta use that old high school diploma here. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, I got a new screw in there already. So that one goes right there. And then this bad boy, I gotta take this off and reattach that to my wire. And she'll patch right on there, and I'll be snowmobiling in no time. Except I'm sure my carburetors are plugged up too. Dang it! Okay. Here, while I'm here, I'm going to grease this Zurich. If you have a skidoo, you know how crappy these things are with steering. They steer like you're a pig. Yeah, this is my wire that was grounding out, so that's why I disconnected the negative terminal. That's the one I got to put back on. And I got that. No mice living there now, but someone made a good home in there, so maybe I'll clean some of that out. Maybe I just don't care enough, I don't know. My wife wants to go on a walk too here pretty soon, so I gotta hurry up and get this done. So I'm gonna walk, and then the Vikings play pretty soon, so I gotta watch some football. It's never enough time in the day. Yeah, but if you can clean that out, that'd be great. Yeah, so going back on what I said, remember at first I was trying to be cool, connect that. You don't need to do the negative battery, but yeah, better disconnect the negative battery. And here's where the battery sits again. So take off that air box and you'll be just fine. That's it. Go ahead and undo those bolts and I'll be right back. One thing, remember I'm not even sure if I know what I'm doing, so do this all at your own risk. Anyways, be right back. Okay, so as I'm doing this here, these are 8mm, so you got to remove this and this so you can take this bracket off and put it on the new one. And then my new one came with a 14mm end right here. I like everything to kind of be same, so I took the 13mm off this end and I'm going to reuse the 13 on here. Same threads. This way I just get more, if I can keep everything 13 and 10s, that's what I like to do. I don't know why, but I don't know. Remember, I'm not the smartest guy either, so maybe I just leave it. Maybe there's a reason he's went to 14. So I'm going to remove that bracket, put the bracket on here, and then got to fix that wire with my end, and then I'll be right back after I put the new end on that. Just because people like to piss me off, the regular socket doesn't work, so I had to find an 8mm deep socket. Slides right on there, like a glove. Now I got to use that. Okay, never mind. Remember I said I'm an idiot at first. So it looks like those nuts stay on there at the bottom. So at the bottom. And then the bracket goes over them. So that's what I'll do. Okay, so here now I'm going to replace that broken battery terminal. I'll show you here. So here's the one that broke off. So here you can see the wire stuck inside there. Right there. And it's already crimped. So went to get a new one. Thankfully my dad battery parts, post parts, my dad doesn't throw anything away, so I got he's in his 70s now, and thankfully for the last 50 years he's been collecting battery terminal parts. Wow, so thankful I've got all these bad boys. So this one right here, this looks like my Huckleberry. I'll slide this on the new part, squish it down. It looks like right there, it fits the same. Boom, boom. Hey, so that actually came through. I almost threw this thing away like a million times, but I never did. So now I'll put all these back in here now, so that someday my grandkids can pull some of these out when they need it. See, look at that, battery pull supplies. Good to go, another 100 years. Hey everyone, I got a 1995 Skidoo Grand Touring SE snowmobile and needs a starter replaced. So let's go through the steps on how to do it. Started by, it's not always the easiest. See the snowmobile with the hood up? I assume it's the same on these other type of bodies of these Skidoos. So if your Skidoo is, I don't know, what do you call these things? Let's lower this up. What do you call the ones that look like this? Just ugly? I don't know. Can't remember the body name, but one of these ugly Skidoos. And I got, I don't know, probably have 1,500 miles on this thing is all. It's probably had more squirrels and mice living in it than miles put on it, but starter went bad, and these things are horrible to pull over. So here's the starter and the solenoid. It actually might just be the solenoid that's bad. Mine just clicks, and my battery is good. But we're gonna try and replace it. Here's my new one. I got it out of the box. I don't know, 50, 60, 80 bucks online somewhere. I don't even know. But first thing we're gonna do is remove these little bolts, one on the bottom, one on top. You can see where they go in the new guy. One on the bottom, and then one on the top, right there. So this one, the one on the bottom came out. I should have showed you, but I started early. Just shove this down there, and then you can get a socket on it. This one, you could not get a socket on because of the way this clutch sits on it. So what I ended up using, I have an Allen wrench that has one of these things on there so I can sit at an angle. So I just broke the seal on that, and then I could unscrew this by hand this far. So that's where I am right now. And now I think there's another bracket in the back somewhere, so let me go. That's still holding it on, so let me go check that out. Okay, here we are. We came to the other side now. We're gonna come down here, and then it looks like you can see another bolt needs to be on the back end. So it looks like it is right here. Another 6mm bolt. So I'll go ahead, and you can also try taking these two nuts off and sliding it out, which I'll have to do eventually, but I don't think I can get that other bolt out that way. So I'm actually going to take off this bracket, this rear bracket part first. So that's what I'm doing. I'll be right back. Pause. Ugh. Hit my nose.